All right, we're going live with no viewers. Got 3 minutes left. All right. So I'm going to go Q&A. I got 3 viewers going on. Welcome from Texas. I'm going to start the chat, wherever that is. Showcase chat. All right. It's now 1 o'clock. We're going to wait about 1 or 2 more minutes, everybody, to see what's going on. I'll let anyone that wants to join, join. All right, all right, all right. Getting going. A little country music going for everyone that's on. I know I'm a dork, it's okay. All right, we got 101. We're gonna wait a little bit longer. Get your number from a phone instead of calling, asking if you're calling one, but I don't want to. Stay away. All right. Don't run away because it's country playing. I know I'm from Texas, remember? All right. All right, that's enough music for today. All right. So we're going to wait a little bit longer, 1 or 2 more minutes. And then if we have any questions, on the left-hand side, you should have somewhere where you can ask questions. Feel free to chat if you're there. If you could, on the chat, if you can see that, can you just enter your name in the chat, where you're from, and what the position you have at the dealership is. Even if you are a vendor on here, just go ahead and drop in your name. hopefully you guys can see that chat. So I'm not seeing anyone pop open. So let's see here. Can anyone see this? See if anyone can reply back. Got 6 viewers. We're moving up on the viewer list. It's going to be nice and intimate today. Small group. So that'll be nice. And no one's replying back, so that is interesting. So, because I just have the user control panel like I'm starting it. So bear with me, folks. All right. All right. Uh-oh. Let's go back to this guy here. Unfortunately, no one can see this because no one's replying back. But that's okay. We're going to get going here shortly. All right. Because it's supposed to be a little interactive, and I want people to talk. Enter chat message. Choose links. I don't want links. I want you guys to be able to chat with me. Can anyone send me any message? Anybody? Bueller. Ferris, you can submit it. Can you guys, my mic is saying it's working, so hopefully you can hear me. Can anyone send a question? A chat? Oh, got it. I got Tony. What's up, dude? What's up? All right. So I got Tony. Maybe we got to go through the questions. I see Tony. So he's using the Q&A. All right, Tony again. All right. So we got 7 viewers. We're going. We got Tony. I'm not sure who else is on there. Good. Thanks for joining me. Got another bald fellow friend with glasses at the helm. So we are 4 after. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And for those that want to join in, hey, you're up. Hey, I know I'm up. Hello. Hey, Tony. Josh, what's going on? Questions tab is the only thing I see active. Thank you for that, Josh. I appreciate that. So looks like questions. If you do want to write anything in, for those with the questions tab, can you go and obviously see your name, but let me know what dealership you're with and the position you're at and that you hold. Perfect. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Cool. So find the questions tab. And if you could just drop in any questions you have. But first, tell me the dealership you're at and the position you're in. But I'll go ahead and get started as you guys submit that. And my name is Marc McGurren. They say I'm the Chief Digital Warrior. I'm not sure exactly what that means. It means I'm a jack of all trade, master of nothing, maybe. I don't know. But I have been in the car business. I'll give you a 30-second background. I've been in the car business since '04. Sold cars for a year, financed for a year, did a sales manager for a year, GM at 27, and ultimately left that to do commercial real estate for a couple of years, and then came back to the Jerry Durant Auto Group out here in Weatherford, Texas, which is just outside of Dallas-Fort Worth. 9-store auto group, ran their internet department, was very well. I did very well there with the team, had a lot of great guys, but learned a lot from them. So ultimately left there, joined with Brian Pash and Glenn Pash, and started PCG Consulting. So we go all across the country and train other dealerships on internet and BDC processes. So this is going to be short. It's going to be about 20 to 30 minutes. You know, it's 4 weeks to jumpstart 2016 and finish out 2015. Great. But I want to make this interactive as possible. We don't have a ton of folks on here, which is I like. Ultimately, what we can do is figure out, is there any questions you guys would like me to answer specifically during this time? I'm thinking it's 1:07 now. I'm thinking we're going to be done by 1:30. If we want to go longer, great. If not, that's perfectly fine. So thank you, Ken. Glad to see you here. Ken Stoppel-Ford, Internet Manager in Kerrville. Man, down there all the way in Kerrville. So I have some friends from around that area. So anyways, so thanks for letting me about Smart Motors. We got folks down in Kerrville, fellow Texan. And I'm just trying to see, is there any specific question you guys want? And I'm going to get going, but please, is there any questions you would like me to answer? Again, we got more folks joining as we seat. All right. No questions? Tony, surely you got a question, Tony. Kerrville, hopefully he's got a question down there. So anyways, they're coming through. Anyways, so 4 weeks. So ultimately what I'm a firm believer in, we're going to do some basic blocking and tackling. And the thing about it, and the reason I do that is it's hard to know if I'm dealing with super advanced folks or people that are just starting out. So I've kind of had to hit everyone in between. So the first thing I want to address is something I learned when I was doing at the dealership. I stayed in my dealership, came in there, and we were getting 2,000 leads a month, selling about 100 cars. I didn't know any metrics, but I knew that wasn't a lot of cars based on the amount of opportunities we had. So I peeled back all the onion of the layer, and I said, you know what? I can't fix what I don't know. So I got to figure out exactly how well we are doing. So yes, it is now time to start new projects. I agree, Mr. Tony. And so we peeled back the onions, and ultimately we said, what can we do with what we're doing? And we got, I came up with a term, I don't know if I came up with it, but I've probably read it somewhere, but you can't fix what you don't know. So for the folks that are on this, I want to challenge you right now. Take back a look over the past 12 months, or at least all of 2015, and namely the past 6 months. So if you're taking notes, I want you guys to do this. Regardless of your CRM, I want you to compile the data, and I want to do it by individual as well as by lead source. Okay, individual meaning if you have a BDC agents or internet sales consultants or whatever the case is, we need to break this down and fix what we don't know. So let's go back all of 2015, compile our data, all right, pull a yearly report, and I want you to pull up obviously how many leads you get. At the next, depending on if you have Dealer Socket, if you have Vin Solutions, and I think that's about it. There's a couple other small ones that can do it, but we got to track our contact ratio. Okay, so two-way absolute communication. I don't care if it was one way, just one email, one phone call. We got to track how well we're doing with our contact ratio. If you need help with Vin Solutions, there's a trick you can do this, and customer reporting can do it, as well as a trick in Dealer Socket that you can track this contact ratio for everything. So you got to be able to track your contact ratio. At that point, if you cannot do that, let's look at our appointment ratio. Okay, then look at our show ratio, and ultimately we then look at our sold to show ratio. We call this our 4x60. Okay, meaning I'm going to see if I can share my screen real quick. So all right, screen share. I'm going to go to screen 2. That's what I'm going to want. All right, let's see if this will work. Share. All right. Yes, that is really cool. All right. So assuming this we're going to talk about pay plans as well as kind of what we can do here. I'm going to zoom in real quick. This is just a basic Excel spreadsheet. Let's just assume you had 100 leads. Okay. What our goal that you need to have is a 60% contact ratio. Okay, meaning you got 100 leads, I want to contact 60% of those folks. BDC internet department, I do not care. At that point, what you want is 60% of the folks you contacted with an appointment. That's a 36% appointment to lead. So for those that do not have a CRM that can track contact ratio, you got to go for that appointment ratio, that 36%. Okay, now those folks that we had an appointment with, 60% show up. That's going to get you 22 to 23 folks that show up. And of those folks that show up, 60% will buy. That'll net you a 13% closing ratio. Okay, that's the minimum goal that you should be doing. Okay, again, that's our bar. And you need to break this down by individual rep, BDC agent, or sales consultant. At that point, you can find your chink in your armor. Okay, so you got to be able to track exactly how each person is doing. Okay, and then you can break this down by lead source. Okay, almost every CRM is going to be able to track this down some way, shape, form, or fashion. If you don't know how, feel free to reach back out to me, and I can help you track down this in most every CRM, just about. Okay, At that point, you need to look at and see what your closing ratio is. Okay, if you're below 13%, this is what's going to affect why you're not getting to 13%. Okay, got to look at your contact. If your contact ratio is low, what could be causing that? That could be what you're saying on your voicemails, could be saying on your templates. And for all the folks that are on this, if you want your templates, our PCG's recommended templates, I'll be more than happy to send those to you as a free gift, and Happy New Year, all that fun stuff to you. Merry Christmas. Okay, it works very well. The templates don't just do them by themselves, though. You got to know how to use them correctly. Also, there's a voicemail scripts we recommend as well, because we got to get their customers to engage back to us. Okay, also now look at your appointment ratio. Is your appointment in the 20%? Okay, this is huge. Without appointments, no one can show up, or the probability that they're going to show up is much less. At that point, look at your show and your sold. Find your chink in your armor. Okay, find out where you're low, and if you don't know where that's at, I will help you. Okay, this is, you have to track. These are the building blocks of setting yourself up to succeed. Then you do look at your people. How are they doing? Okay, are they fixable? Are they trainable? Are they coachable? And I really want you to take a hard look at your team. Can they get you to where you want to go in 2016? And if they can't, if there's a pause, if there's like, I don't know, okay, then we need to put them on the 90-day period. Okay, I'm not a firm believer just firing people just to fire people, but ultimately I want to make sure they're going to be trained. But I know we are quick to hire, slow to fire in this industry. All right, so we got to make sure we train them up and find those folks that are on the bubble that aren't doing what they should be doing, and let's put them on a 90-day written notice. And you're going to train them all that you want. And you know what? We will help you here at PCG. For anyone, you guys hit the jackpot today. For anyone that's on here, I'll give you access to one free class, Internet Lead Management class for managers or BDC sales consultants for one person. Okay? So yes, I like free too, Tony. So we're going to send this to you, and you can watch it yourself. You can watch it with your team. Okay? This is going to help get some training to help get you set up for 2016. Okay? So go back, but in order to do this, in order for you to get the free stuff, okay, I want you to send me your report. You can remove your names. I can promise you this will be held confidential, but I don't want to give something for nothing. I want to make sure you're going to go back and look at how your dealership is doing, okay? So I want you to look at that. So that's how we're going to get it. My email is just going to be marc@pcgmailer.com, marc@pcgmailer.com, mailer.com. Once you send your yearly data between your of whatever you can muster for your sales consultant as well as your sources, lead sources, I'll give you access to everything and everything I can to you, okay? At that point, we can sit there and you can figure out if your contact rate's low, and I'll give you some suggestions based on that information. We're going to look at your appointment ratio. What are we doing to train that? Our training does help that. We're going to look at show ratio. Our training is going to help that, as well as show to close. Find out where your chink in your armor is. Then you're going to go back and do the exact same thing for your lead sources. Who do you need to fire? Is there any lead sources that are underperforming? Okay, I know AutoTrader and Cars.com, they're going to be a little different. I know sometimes we have to buy leads from our OEMs just to play the game, but we can do that. We'll have to look. But if there's anything that you're buying, right, let's take a hard look. Is it worth your time, effort, and energy? Okay, so this is the building blocks. I know it's really simple, okay, but we got to do it to be successful. All right, now let's look at this pay plan. For the folks that have BDCs, this is typically how we pay our folks that we train. Take a look. You get an hourly base, okay, depending on if you want to do 40 hours a week, whatever the case is. Well, Mark, what do I pay my BDC associates? Well, it depends on where you live. What I recommend is go on Google.com, right? The whole Google Internet machine. Go on the Internet machine and do some Googling, okay? And just type in telemarketing position and put in your telemarketing job in your city and state. Most likely Indeed.com will pull up, Career Builder, Monster. Find out what other telemarketers are making in your area. I've seen it go from $9 an hour to as high as $12 an hour. Whatever that case is, you're going to bump up an hour. Okay, bump that hourly rate $1. Okay, so if the going rate's $11 an hour, you're going to pay them $12 an hour. At that point, You'll pay them $5 for every appointment they log in CRM, $10 for everyone that ever shows, and you know what, 25 for everyone that shows. Some folks do 20. And if you want this spreadsheet, you can do that as well. What this will show you, it's going to break this down. It's going to get their base hourly rate, okay? And then you're going to sit there and go, you know, $6.55 bonus. Even you can do this, you can go equals that divided by, what is that, 40 hours, 160. And he went from making $12 an hour to really $16 an hour. Pretty darn good for that kind of work, okay? And especially depending on your market, that can be a lot of money, okay? Now, this is how you get, now what if, but this is for folks that only get 100 leads. Most likely your BDC agents are going to get roughly around 200 leads a month, okay? Now look at that dollar they're going to make. They can make 20 bucks an hour, okay, working at your dealership. Pretty strong stuff, right? All right, so ultimately, if you want this, I'll be more than happy to give this to you as well. Free, free, free. That's all for you. Okay, so we've got to make sure we know where we're at. Okay, I'm going to stop presenting this. See if it works. Let's come back to me. Yes, it's back to me. Hopefully it's working now. Okay, so that's the first order of business. Okay, so we're going to take a look at all that, and then you're going to email it to me if you want free training. Okay, at that point, I'll do just some basic analysis of it, and then I'll give you access to one of our courses on PCG Learning Center. All right, sound good? And we'll also send you our templates as well as the 4x60 pay plan if you want. Fair enough? Fair enough. All right, keep it on trucking. So now we know what we're doing, okay? So we know what we did the past 12 months. We're going to take a look at that. Now remember, if you're underperforming on any lead source, take a hard look at it, okay? We have 12 months of data and possibly more, okay? Can you reallocate that money, okay? So one thing I want to recommend is if you are, I'm not a huge fan of spending more money because dealers don't like to spend money. But if you can come to dealerships and say, hey, I'm already spending $1,500, $2,000 a month on X, I just want to shift that to here, to Y. Most of the time, dealerships, or dealer principals and GMs are like that, right? So what are some cool widgets and stuff that are out there that might help you out? Well, one thing that we might want to look at, depending on your team size, is Conversica, okay? So, whoa, I already heard people going, whoa, what in the world? Okay, so PCG here is the only thing that we resell is lot links, okay, which I love, okay, and that's something you might want to consider. But Conversica, we get no money to, okay, Brian Pash just did our research report, and through that, taking a look at how Conversica has come since it was Ava, okay, I wish you could see, I wish if anyone's done Ava back in the day, it was horrible, okay. I will say this, Conversica now is a phenomenal tool, and it might be something you might be worth if you're a smaller team, okay, if you're a little bit overloaded, okay, or you just want to do some long-term follow-up, okay. Fantastic. So Tony just said it's a great tool. We've been in it for 3 years and it keeps getting better, okay, so which is really, really cool. So take a look at Conversica. That can help your long-term follow-up, because how we have to increase, if we want to sell more cars, right, we got to do better with what we got. So we got to look at those contact ratios, got to look at the appointment shows, all that. Conversica is going to help engage the consumers, okay? At that point, it's your job to pick up that ball and run with it, okay? That's why I like it. What it does, it allows you to connect with more consumers. When I connect with more consumers, I talk to more people. More talking means more appointments, more shows, and ultimately more sold, okay? So check with that. If you want information or a contact point there, we will definitely point you in the right direction. But again, just so you know, PCG gets no commission, no back end, no, hey, here's a couple bucks for you, nothing, okay? After I looked at it for a PCG report or research report, I was very, very impressed, okay? Another thing to look at is lot links, okay? Lot links has been fantastic for most dealerships I've worked with. Very few have not liked it, okay? There have been a few. Again, we do resell that, so that's the caveat there. But why I like lot links is it drives traffic directly to your website, okay? So ultimately, it's going to allow you to handle more, okay? It's going to give you more information, more data to your website, ultimately more leads, more VDPs, okay? Because we're in the e-commerce business, we want eyeballs on us, stuff there. Most folks that we work with pitch in for basically $1,000 a month to start off with. But by month 2 or month 3, they're upping their budget because how well it's doing. Okay, so that's another widget. And again, I don't want to talk about widgets all the time. Those are two things I think that you need to take a hard look at. If you want to get in contact with either of those, let me know. Okay, that's going to be huge to help drive traffic to your website. Now, what else? What else can we do, right, to drive traffic to set us up to succeed for 2016? Now, this next part is not sexy. Okay, it is not sexy at all, but it is vital to it. One thing I'm a huge proponent of is coaching and training. That's how PCG stays in business, is we're constantly coaching and training. But I want to train, my ultimate goal is to train the trainer at the dealership and work myself out of a job, which is all of your positions most likely. So therefore, I want each and every single one of you that starting as whenever you can, okay, that I want you guys to pull up, and I want to do what's called injecting inspection. What this means, regardless of any CRM, you can do this, okay? Write this down. After that lead comes in, at the 24-hour mark, I want a manager, whether that's you or someone else, not a desk manager, because the desk managers are going to be chasing squirrels all day and dealing with heat and trying to sell cars, okay? So I want a manager that's overseeing the department, looking at every single lead, okay? So they're going to be tasked for an email template, okay? You're going to get that email template in the templates if you want it, okay? What that's basically going to do is say, hey, Mr. Customer, thanks so much. So-and-so BDC agent contacted you yesterday, okay? Did they give you all the information you needed on the XYZ car your incident? If you have any questions, please let me know, blah, blah, blah. It's not the template that's important. It is important because you're going to get some engagement from it, okay? But the most important thing, if there's one thing that I can do to tell folks, is to train their staff. And this is a built-in mechanism for you to be able to train every single day. Because what's going to happen is 24 hours after the lead comes in, what you're going to do is go back and look to see what they're saying and doing. Did they do and say what they should have been doing? PCG recommends 2 phone calls and 2 emails that very first day. Okay, did they do that? Did they send the right cars? Did they answer the customer's questions? Did they ask relevant questions? So on and so forth. Okay, again, not sexy, but if you do this time and time again, your team's going to go, oh my gosh, so-and-so Tony's watching me, okay? We're going to look at all, you know, we've got, who else in there? Josh is watching me. Kerrville's watching me. Where'd you go? Michael's watching me, okay? So they're going to sit there and go, man, I better be on my game. But you also catch any balls that got dropped. Maybe the customer replied back, they got the BDC agent or salesperson's off, and you can pick up that ball and run with it. Again, this is 24 hours after the lead comes in. Program that in there, okay? What I've seen BDC managers do is just send these emails out and not inspect it, okay? I was roughly dealing with 1,000 to 1,500 leads a day at my dealership. I could get through this in about 1 hour for that many leads a day, okay? Does it take time? You betcha. But you know what? We got up to a consistent 18% closing ratio, and I guarantee, as good as my team was, they get busy, they get forgetful, they start working on it, excuse me, they start working on an email, phone rings, something comes up, they forget to do something. There's honest mistakes, right? But ultimately, what we have to do is coach those and try to minimize any mistakes that happen, okay? Again, very simple, but very, very powerful. Now, if you have a team that's broke, that's in, you know, you're closing at 5, 6%. I also then recommend doing a day 3 inspection, okay? For some, like e-leads, okay? They cannot do generic tasks. What you can do is phone calls. So if you're doing this inspection, you make this task as a phone call in your CRM. Now, can you call a customer? Yeah, but you guys have a lot of stuff to do. So ultimately, this is just a quick way for you to put your initials in, say, I looked between day 48 hours and 24 hours. Did anything else happen in that time frame? Okay, and then if you're not that broke, I still recommend doing day 6 inspection. So regardless of anything, you're gonna do 24 hours after the lead comes in and 6 days after the lead comes in. And so what you're gonna do, there's 24 hours, is look at that first time. Look at your response time, open up the emails they sent. Don't just look to see if they sent an email. That's very, very, very important, okay? Because they're gonna mess up, they're gonna mistype stuff, they're gonna forget to put cars in. I've seen crazy stuff going, what? Okay, but by watching them on a daily basis, and you're not doing it to be big brother, you're doing it to help coach. And by help coaching, they're going to get better. The bars continue to get raised up and up and up. Okay, Then at day 6, all you're going to do is take a quick look between day 6 and day 1. Because remember, you already looked at day 1. So don't worry about going back and doing a deep dive. This will take, the 24 hours will take, I don't know, a minute at the most, 30 seconds. Once you get good, it's 30 seconds. It's a brief. They send what they should be doing. Yep, 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 cool. Answer the customer's question. Yep, 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 cool. Move on. Because it's only about 5 to 10% where they truly mess up, okay? Or not mess up, but where, yeah, they mess up, and you can find areas of opportunity to coach them, okay? At that point, day 6, it's just a quick glance. They make those phone calls. We just did a mystery shop and audit for a dealership, okay? They're supposed to be making 8 phone calls in 10 days. The guy made 3 phone calls in 2 days and then never called the customer again, okay? And no one knew that at all. But if we didn't do the mystery shop, no one would caught him, okay? And this guy was really good. And they go back and ask him, why did you do it? I don't know, boss, okay? So once they do that, okay, so what happens when you catch some stuff that's going on, okay? I like this simple question, okay? And you're gonna see this in our training. You ask them why. Why did you do this? Why did you not make your phone call? I got busy, I sold 3 cars, I did, okay, cool, that's cool. But but you're gonna get, I don't know, boss, I don't know, I just forgot. Okay, cool, so now we know this is why you're doing what you're doing. We're trying to connect to the consumer, okay? Okay, we all understand this is what we're supposed to do, this is a process. You got it? Good, cool. All right, so next time I see this, I'm expecting. Yes, boss. Guarantee it's gonna happen again, okay? Why'd you do it again, Mr. BD agent? I don't know, boss. Remember that conversation we had a while back, right? What's gonna happen when you ask the question of why, what's going to happen is they're gonna tell you. You're not beating them over the head going, hey, idiot, right? What are you thinking? But you're trying to understand. When you ask with an understanding heart, in a genuine heart, going, hey, why did you do what you did, right? We talked about this. Why didn't you do it, okay? That you'll be amazed at why they say they did what they did. And then what you can uncover the real reason why they're doing what they're doing. Are they, in fact, too busy, okay? Do they have too many leads to handle, okay? Are they lazy? Are they don't have good time management skills? Do they not see value in the task at hand? Okay, that's what you'll be amazed at. People are going, I really don't need to. It's not a real lead. It's so on and so forth. And you can really uncover why they're doing what they're doing and not just going, beating over the head, going, do it, do it, do it. Because my job as a consultant is to train people how to think. And that's your job as managers as well. Is you have to train people how to think. If they understand how to think, they will make it their own and they'll do the right things over and over and over. Okay? So it's very imperative you do this and do it with a coachable, a true heart, not to browbeat people, but I want to make people better. I want to be able to help them provide for their families. Okay, so that's it. So we're 30 minutes in. Okay, does anybody have any questions as it sits right now? Okay, I'm trying to scroll through. One of the things that Tony said that Conversica does, it does help reduce staff. One of the things that Tony asked, he goes, okay, what are your thoughts on real-time coaching? I'm assuming, Tony, you're meaning while they're on the phone going, I'm a huge believer in real-time coaching. You have to get good at it, though. Depending on your setting and size and where you're at, I'm always real-time coaching because what I'm doing, I'm trying to hear them, what's going on. If you have a really cool telephony system, you can speak in their other ear and tell them what to do, okay? But what you can do as well is if you don't have the really cool stuff, you can hear what they're saying. You got an idea of what's happening. And that's where I whisper into their ear to going, hey, XYZ, hey, ask them this. And I at least have a pretty good, I don't know exactly what the consumer's saying, but based on what the context of the conversation, I have a pretty good idea. I'm a huge fan of that because what you're doing is, for that, is finding those windows of opportunity to where they can ask for appointments, overcome objections, something you're going down the road. And there's sometimes where, you know what? Don't be afraid if you're engaged right in there and the consumer and the BD agent's having a tough time to have them like pause and go, hey, I got to tap out. Let me talk to my manager. At that point, they can transfer it over to you and move on down the road, okay? So, and they talk to you and maybe you can overcome it, but at least the second voice. So great question, Tony, okay? I love real-time coaching, okay? So what else? All right, we got anybody else, any other questions? It's not putting my questions in an order. Josh, you have any, you got any questions, my friend? Okay, what about Kerrville? You got any questions, Michael? Okay, I want to help you guys out. So, all right, anything else? Anything else? Anything else? All right. So I hope this has been beneficial. Again, it's not super sexy, but these are building blocks that in order to get to where we want to go in 2016, we have to know where we were at, okay? Once we know that, we can make decisions based on what we know. We got historical data, okay? We then can potentially reallocate our funds to somewhere else, okay? Another little caveat on that. I'm a huge fan of any lead source, okay? If they help me sell cars, I'm all about it. You know what I did at dealership? I'm way past my, not way past my time, a little past time. All I did was, hey, Mark, we got the next best thing. Fantastic. How much is it? They tell me. Well, can I reallocate anything? Because I'm always trying out new things. Okay, let's see I can. At that point, I literally tell the vendor, I'm giving you 60 days, okay? I'm giving you absolute 60 days to make this. I got a good process. I got good people. And if your product works, I'm going to sell cars from it, okay? So what you do is, because most people have 30 days out, I give them a full 30 days. At that point, if I send the vendor an email of cancellation. Here's my so what I do is in my calendar, I sign up, let's say I sign up today on the 7th, okay? On January 7th in my Google Calendar, my iCloud, it's going to go cancel XYZ vendor, okay? I'm going to send them an email saying I'm canceling, okay? Unless I just blew it up and I sold a bazillion cars, okay? But if I'm a 5% closing ratio, no, depends on the lead source, okay? So I'd send them an email canceling. That gives me another 30 days to try them out. And so I got a full 60-day window to try that vendor out. And again, this is only if you can handle the extra lead sources, okay? Is it going to drive the traffic? And you got to have a good process and a good team. If you're closing at 7, 8%, don't do it. Wait till you're consistently at that 13% or above, okay? At that point, you can try out anybody. Because you know what? If this is the next best widget, someone smart came up with it, or they're just dumb, I don't know. But if they're selling it, they got a foundation to do it, I'm going to try it. And then ultimately, if I have the budget to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to give them full 60 days. And if it sells me cars, I'll keep it. You know what? If they're not going to cancel me if I call them up on day 59 going, hey, I really want to keep you. Sorry, you sent your 30-day notice in. No, they're not going to do that. Okay. So, all right. So that's my trick on any lead source. And I tried a whole bunch. I didn't like a lot of them, but you know what? I caught a couple that helped us out tremendously. So, any other folks or the first year, at least 6%? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're done. Okay, short and sweet, to the point. We're gonna do this again, I think, next week. If you have any questions, so if you want the free training, and if you want the templates and the Excel spreadsheet, okay, email me. This is, remember what I want. Marc@pcgmailer.com, MARC@pcgmailer.com. I'm going to go ahead and put it on my screen just so you can see there's no PCG mailer, if I can spell, .com. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Come over here. Well, we'll share it. There we go. Share screen. There we go. Share. All right. Marc@pcgmailer.com. Okay. You can do that. Okay. Send me what I need for you to get the free stuff is send me your year to date. And again, this will be used just to get you stuff and help you analyze your data. I will not sell it. I will not post it. I won't write about it. Nothing. It's just to help you. Okay. So send me your year to date breakdown of contact appointments, shows and sold. If you can't do contact, please give me your appointment, shows and sold based on individual. And then as well as based on your lead source. I'll give you some short feedback based on what I see. Okay. At that point, I'll get you access to our training courses, okay, and go on from there. And then the only thing I ask in return is you give me personally honest feedback on the course. Should we add anything to the course? Do you not like anything about the course? Is something too redundant? Is something too basic? Is it something too, too over the head? Which is hopefully it shouldn't be. Okay, I just ask for your honest, the good and the bad, the ugly feedback on that course. Fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. I hope this has helped you somewhat, a lot of it. I hope. Actually, I hope it has helped a lot. Let me go back to myself And I'm going to give you guys goodbye. It is Monday, is it Monday? Yeah, Monday the 7th. Okay, we're going to do it, I think, next week again. If you do have any questions and you like this, share this, tweet it, post it, Facebook and Instagram. I don't care, whatever you do. Okay, tell your friends, maybe not your competitors, but tell your friends about it. If there's anything I can do for any of you folks on here, I do appreciate you taking out the time. Again, email me with any and all questions, and I can apply it to our next week's and the following week's agenda. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye, guys and gals.